No.
No? I hope you are, because this is A to Z, episode 122.
Today's guest is Brian Shajari, Coast Guard veteran, cybersecurity expert, and history enthusiast.
It's like they're trying to be too meta.
We're gonna make them an offer they can't refuse.
Much better.
Yeah. You can
buy you a drink.
You can
But-
well, I mean, he did pick out somebody we know.
Will you sidestep the question? That technology does not exist.
Hey everybody, what's up you guys? I'm Aaron. Here with me as always is my co-host Zach.
Hi.
Welcome to the award-winning A to Z podcast, where we sit down with the fine folks that make Southeast Texas a better place to live.
Can't beat third place. If you're new to the show, thanks for checking us out. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, all social media pages other than Parler. And you can also call and text us 409-206-2971, 409-206-2971. We haven't gotten a text in a while, so freaking text us.
Yeah, send us a little DM, you know what I'm saying? Slide up in there.
Yeah, anyway, we're talking to Brian Shajari today, and we had a good romping time just talking about a little bit of everything.
Yeah, this is one of those episodes where it's more chill, it's not as focused, and it's a good hang. You know, Brian comes on with all of his myriad of knowledge. We asked him a little bit about history, a little bit about himself. If anything, this episode is just going to be a grand introduction to the man known as Brian Shajari, and
Very
hopefully
true.
we'll have him back on. So if you miss this one, you'll be lost the next time he comes back on.
And before we get to the episode, I want to do a big shout out to Buxton Brewing for winning 2 awards at the
they won
the U.S. Open Beer Championship.
a national award.
Yeah, they got gold and silver, man. Go out to Buxton Brewing.
That's right.
They're making world-class beers out there. Anyway,
really
let's get this episode started with Mr. Brian Shajari.
Wow.
We're getting our talking ears on.
I'm getting him on.
Brian Shajari, it's good to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Man, you have
love you guys.
a long list of accreditations, I guess you could say. Coast Guard vet,
Yep,
cybersecurity expert, history buff, reenactor, collector, model builder.
I do.
One
Yeah,
thing you've been doing recently. that
Yes.
I've seen.
Sound like a meticulous guy. Yeah.
dude, it's insane. I have a 5.5 foot long model of the Titanic.
Is it?
That-
Did you finish it?
No, because I get distracted.
5.5. That's like
5.5
this,
feet
this
long.
table.
Yeah, and I
What's-
bought another one too.
What's the scale? What scale is
1/200. I'm gonna build an actual one.
it?
1/200.
Yeah,
Yeah.
full scale. Maybe I'll do full scale next
Do a
time.
full scale, man.
A full scale Titanic. Yeah, it's not that big.
We may need that. We have 2 hurricanes coming.
Yeah, we might build an ark. just let's just build an ark and just put dumb shit in it.
What, like 2 of every animal?
I'm gonna go
Just us. Just us. We'll be
us.
like, we got all this space, but it's just us.
and tell everybody at the all the local bars to come out too, because we got to have our alcoholics and
Yeah.
drunks.
Yeah,
and
yeah, for sure.
It just makes everything go by quicker.
I think that'd be
It does. Yeah.
and
I
easier.
think the Ark of Beaumont is already taken, though. That title.
Yeah, the title is, but we'll call it something different.
Awesome.
You know,
Yeah.
we just call it like
Brian's Ark.
we just call it Arc 409.
Arc 409.
Titanic 2.
It's got a good ring to it. You know.
409.
Yeah. Arc 409. Why did you build out of all the things you could build as a model? Why the Titanic? Is it
I don't know.
historical?
I have, when I was probably 5 years old,
Yeah.
the first book my mom ever showed me was a book called A Night to Remember, which was the first and still the most accurate depiction story of the Titanic sinking. And I don't know what it was, but that was a year after it was discovered. And so I just started reading on it and getting books when I was a kid. And then the movie came out in 98.
97, 98.
Yes, 97. And, of course, I went to go see it, and I nitpicked it, and the romance story was rubbish, but
Yeah.
everything else was good.
Yeah.
Do you really think that the band was playing as they went down?
There are documented evidence.
Really?
Yes, there is a lot of documented evidence for that. So,
Wow.
yeah. And they even have what they would have played. They
Yeah.
actually found one of the violinist's violin that was
Really?
floating with his body, yeah. He had
He
it
just
strapped to his
clutched
body.
it.
Yeah.
Just like, well, flotation device.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were finding it months later.
Yeah, not much.
Yeah, Cameron is actually a big stickler for stuff like that. He talked to an astronomer about what the night sky would have looked like
Yeah.
on that night, and even put that in the film. You're looking up at what the night sky would have looked like
Yeah.
as it pertained to that.
Are you
night.
serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
He
Like
really
the
did,
amount of detail he put. He even made sure the paint was correct on the interiors, that the doorknobs were correct, that they turned the right way. I mean, it was.
I think
it
he
was
even like
incredible.
spent extra money to use teak wood even though it got painted. Yeah, yeah.
That's what
Because
was
it was
on
like
the
they
deck.
used teak at sea. Yeah,
Just to get it look right.
I guess. Yeah.
I mean, that's that. I mean, I guess if you want to build the world and have people believe it,
yeah.
I mean, it was like the biggest grossing film that's ever been released at that point. Right?
At that point, yeah.
Yeah.
And then did that? I mean, you have been a fan of Titanic for a long time, but did that like other people's interest in it annoy you? or
Dude,
something?
yes. They're
because-
like, oh my God, Jack is so hot. I want to be him. No, like, shut up. I don't want to listen to that.
So it's fair to say that you've always been a history buff then.
Oh, God, yeah. Since
Yeah.
I was like probably in my mother's womb, I was like reading history books.
Yeah, I don't know how they got there, but they were there.
I used to, in the 80s, I used to sit down. Some of my earliest memories are wanting to watch the news. I knew who Gorbachev was by the time I was 4 or 5.
You were a weird kid, man.
It was strange. Yeah. It's like I don't know.
You were 5
why
and you're
I'm
like,
like
boy, this
him."
Cold War is really starting to heat up.
Yeah, that was in the mid 80s.
Yeah.
So, and I can remember where I was when the Berlin Wall fell
Yeah.
and Dan Rather came on CBS and, announced it. It's pretty cool, the stuff we've lived through over our years.
It really is cool, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but-
I mean, do you think that your love of the Titanic and boats and all that is what got you in the Coast Guard?
oh God, yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. I love the sea. I love the ocean. I love, I served on a ship when I was active duty years ago, and it was cool. It's like some of the coolest things you see in your life are at sea, especially at night.
Yeah.
The night stars. I was in the Arctic for a while, so I saw the northern lights.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Just being out on the ocean at night.
Yeah.
Did you ever see those I'm trying to think of that acronym in my head. SFO, like submerged, or no, what is it?
SPSS?
Unidentified submerged object. You know what I'm talking about?
Like
It's a
you see
common-
something in the water, but you don't know what it is.
No, it's a common thing with sailors and everybody on the open sea is like, how everybody sees UFOs. Apparently, the common thing is to see like a sub-nautical craft that comes up and then takes off, like lights, like
That'd be pretty cool.
yeah.
like a UFO, but from
A UFO, but a submerged UFO.
That sounds like my love life.
Yeah. Is that what it sounds?
dark.
Dark and
Yeah.
mysterious and unknown. Yeah.
Creates mystique.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a scary place to see.
Yeah.
We don't know anything about it.
No, I never saw one of those. But you do see some weird stuff. Whales, polar bears in the Arctic.
You been in the Arctic?
I have. We spent a couple of weeks up there. It was pretty cool. So that
I'm
was in
glad you-
2013.
I'm glid you didn't get mauled.
It was cold.
Yeah. No, I mean it's
There were real
it's where
icebergs up
Santa
there, too.
is.
That's where Santa and Cthulhu are.
I know. I was disappointed. We didn't go that far up north because I wanted to go see Santa.
Yeah. No, they didn't bring you. No.
No.
Yeah. Was it a disappointment when you got up there?
It was
and
very
realized There's
bad.
like
Yeah.
not a landmass.
Yes.
The North Pole is like literally water.
Yeah, it's water. And it was probably, the average temperature was about minus 20 every day. And then I fly back home to Texas.
Yeah.
I was stationed in San Antonio at the time. It was 45 here. Normally that's cold to us, but I was like,
That
oh
feels
my
good.
God, this is hot.
It feels
We gotta
good.
go to the beach.
No, it's totally good now. It's getting
Yeah, it
better.
feels great, man. Feels great.
Oh, it's wonderful. It'll last about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Then it'll get hot.
Yeah.
And then the asteroid comes, right?
And then the asteroid comes. So
That's right.
right now, while we're recording this, we're in October 2020. What are your predictions for this month?
Oh, what, like the big thing in October?
Yeah, what do you
Well,
think October's going to be?
October surprise, man.
Yeah, there's always the October surprise of the election
So
year.
I don't know if that was
What was
the-
it last? 2016's October surprise was.
Well, that's when the meme war on
Ebola?
Facebook
I thought
started.
that was grabbing by the pussy.
Was it Ebola?
Yeah, it was Ebola.
It was Ebola.
in
That was-
2016?
the 2016's October surprise was Ebola.
yeah.
I'm trying to remember what they all were. Yeah.
It
I
popped
know
up
that.
somewhere else
No, remember it popped up here, and then
for like a second.
it quarantined. Yeah, it popped up in Dallas.
Yeah.
and a woman died, or
They like
no,
sanitized
her husband
apartment.
died, and like she had to be quarantined. Yeah, it was a whole thing. Yeah, but it popped up here, and that was the surprise.
Yeah, I remember that because I was looking on my Facebook memories this week. And, I love memes. And so back then I was posting all these Ebola memes
Yeah.
in 2016. So,
It's true, yeah, and then we all like everyone here freaked out because it was from Dallas, but they couldn't they didn't have an incinerator for the body that was hot enough or something, so I had to bring it down to Memorial Herman.
oh, yeah, I remember
And so
that.
it was like it was like a motorcade came down, 45.
Like it was encased. It was like a
Yeah.
Magneto or
and
some
it was
shit.
like, oh my god, the Ebola body's coming.
Well, the Ebola's not great because it makes you bleed from your orifices.
yeah.
Like
yeah.
that's
No, it's a very scary.
That's
scary
really
death.
scary. We'll deal with that thing pretty quick, right?
That's like
You know?
that's like shooting bad whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd probably rather have Ebola.
you would rather have a
Yeah, especially after last night.
Dude, I would take
I would take
a bottle
pretty
of
much anything over Ebola.
Cutty Shark.
I watched Outbreak. Okay,
That was a good show.
I watched that. I
You know,
it's
that was the
based on
first
Ebola.
thing that came to my mind was that movie when this whole mess started.
Oh yeah,
What year are we
Yeah.
in? Like of 2020? We're in the third
we're
year of
in
2020 right
10th.
now.
yeah.
I thought we were in the 10th year of 2020.
We're about to be in the fourth act
Oh,
of 2020. We're in the fourth quarter, as they say, gentlemen.
Stocks are looking good, though.
Are they?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't follow the stocks.
Stonks?
Dude, November 4th, you better start buying them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you
if you're
think so?
listening, buy stocks November 4th.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Just okay. This is something I got a question about. and
Sure.
We're gonna bounce all over because you got so many different
Let's
things
do
to know. Cybersecurity. What the hell do you do?
Yeah.
What is like? Because I see you post about it. You talk about things, people not knowing their passwords and shit, and
Yeah.
it's like, what?
98% of my job is, and I'm not going to say who I work for, obviously on air, but
Yeah, no.
but 98% of my job
Yeah,
is
we know.
is babysitting dumb people who don't know how to secure their shit. So,
So it's
Like
basically just-
boomers?
yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit of mix of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, younger people are bad with technology too, though.
Yeah, they're starting to be now because
Yeah.
everything's so user friendly.
Yeah.
I mainly write policies for big companies,
Oh, okay, really?
things like that.
Oh,
Make
so
sure
you give them like a good legal
I'm
framework.
that bad guy that says change your password every month.
Oh,
I'm that
Yeah.
guy. And I set it up to where they're required to.
are there? I mean, what are the most common ways that people get popped? Like, is it mostly just emails with bad links and people open them? And that's it?
Phishing links,
Phishing, right? People
leaving
just giving
computers
you
unlocked.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in private industry, people leaving computers unlocked and open.
Do people just like walk up and open and get on their computer and start
Be
doing
surprised,
stuff?
yeah.
Really?
That
Like
happens
sneaking
a
in
lot.
places?
That happens a lot. Yeah.
So
Like
it's
what?
not like people hacking in through using an open Wi-Fi.
So there's people in
No.
Southeast
It's like physical,
Texas
yeah.
that are looking for somebody to leave a computer locked so they can walk over and
There are bad people out there that's highly underreported.
really.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
so
this
it's
stuff happens all the time.
Rutinos. If you go to the bathroom and leave your computer up, somebody might just come steal all your
Anybody
shit.
could. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I've never thought of it being like you always think of it being like some guy in a room and he's just like
You think
that
of like
happens.
you
And
think
that
of like
happens a lot.
Hacker Man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hacker
and that
Man,
happens more or less on an automated scale. Like, people set up what they call bots to automatically do that work for them. But there are
Okay,
people
yeah.
that target specific, people or industries or companies. They'll go out and do that. But most people, it's dumb hacking. It's just people leaving their stuff unlocked, walking away, using password for
Highly preventable
password.
thing. Yeah.
admin for the password.
admin.
Yeah.
Admin 1 2 3 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's most routers.
ABCD
now.
1 2
Come
3
like
4.
that. Oh,
Can
yeah.
somebody? Are there like apps? I guess people will put on like a password and just guess all the main ones.
Yeah,
Like,
you
is
can
that
do
how
that.
it usually happens? Like
It's
what-
called hash cracking, where you can, there's automated programs that you'll set it up and it'll sit there and work on somebody's account for like days or weeks. And
However
it'll go
long it
through
takes.
every single letter, character,
Doesn't that
symbol in the
that
alphabet.
locks you out though if you keep fucking up, doesn't it? Usually.
Yeah,
Depends on what you're logging into.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
If it's like
Wow.
a terminal,
should.
probably. Yeah. But if it's
Yeah.
like a DOS terminal or something like that somewhere,
DOS.
Oh.
or
Yeah.
That was the best system.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
security?
you had to write everything
You
exactly
had to write code
right.
to get anywhere. Yeah.
CD ...
Yeah.
This man's in terminal. He's hacking our system right now.
Hacker man. So you must have been getting into computers around the same time that you were getting into Titanic.
Oh, dude, I was crashing my high school server in the late 90s, logging in from my parents' house, and I won't say which high school either.
Did you ever get to change the grades? Did you?
No, I never got
incriminate
into
yourself.
that. I never got into that, but it was the website because they had weak script on it, and I was able to just log right in and figure out the passwords and everything, and I went
Because
right
they
in.
got somebody's husband to write the HTML for the website.
No,
and he
man,
went
he
and
was,
took
he
it
was
down.
he was trying to get to Newgrounds, and they had it blocked by the firewall. He wanted to play those sweet Flash games.
Newgrounds, dude. I forgot all
I
about
want to play
that.
those sweet Flash games. I know what you're about.
Damn.
We have these old school, like, because we grew up with technology, sort of. Like, we had a computer in my house when I was like 6, so
Yeah,
we would play DOS games,
Same.
like stunts, and they're all like Atari ports and
Oh, yeah.
Commodore ports.
I remember playing like command-based
Wings of
games and
Thunder and-
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
Text-based
Dude,
command-
those are the best.
They really are.
where you have to like
You only have like
type the exact right thing.
50 things that you could do,
Yeah.
maybe, and you don't know what they are. And then all the Easter eggs they put in where you have to go.
Bro, do you remember when
It's too much, man. Like,
Did you have a
but people had a
computer-
lot more time on their hands, I think.
did you have a computer when Myst came out?
Yes.
I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
Like, it blew my little kid brain.
That game was a groundbreaking piece
Yeah.
of technology.
That was a great game.
Yeah, they had
There's
to,
a
like,
lot of them that came out around that time.
Well, they kind of spawned that adventure game
Yeah.
kind of thing, but like the way there's like a good YouTube video about how they had to like generate the graphics for it, because what they did is they made like pictures. They had to take pictures, but they were all computer generated, so they would have to plot point everything out and do all whatever they do, and it's really fascinating. But then like it basically set all that up, and then now it's it's just another relic.
Yeah.
It's another relic in the days of technology.
I tell you what, though, I hooked up my original Nintendo the other day,
Yeah.
and it can't even like go
Does it
on my
work?
big screen. No,
No.
because it won't go on the big screen. So they make these.
The adapters.
So you can get adapters for it.
Yeah.
Or they got these little boxes that are the old Nintendo games that
they
you
go
can
like
get.
AVI. Oh, the little
Yeah.
Yeah, those are
A
cool.
Dazzle
dude.
or
Yeah.
something, yeah.
Yeah,
Or you could just get an old TV.
you could do that. That would
Yeah.
be bitching.
That's what most people do. A lot of
If you
what do you
find
call
one
it?
that works.
The community of like gamers that play the original Halo on the OG Xbox.
Yeah.
Like, they're really big about it. They have to play
Really?
on a CRT TV.
CRT,
Something-
man, you got them deep
It's
blacks.
it's about like it's about the frame. It's about I don't know.
Yeah.
It's about like getting it right. You
Yep.
know, they won't. Yeah.
There's a certain
Shout out to Jordan Stringer. He's one of those guys. He was like
A certain
he's like,
ness
oh,
to
you're
it.
getting rid of your old TV? You're just gonna throw it on the curb? I'll come by and pick it up. I'll come pick it up. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. They don't look right, man. Like Mario and stuff like that from
No,
back in
big-
it doesn't
yeah.
look right on a. It just looks
flattened out.
wonky as hell. Like on this thing on this TV, it just looks awful.
Yeah, the pixels won't translate.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
A lot of aliasings and
I
like.
think y'all are full of shit.
Well, you know what? That's
I
your
think y'all are
opinion.
totally. No, it's probably true. I mean,
next
you gotta
episode will be
have that.
Nintendo's.
You gotta have that inner scan. You know, man. You gotta have that those analog just lines through it. And it kind of the pictures kind of looks like a music video from the 80s. You know, with the TVs, the big wall of TVs. It kind of looks like that. But God, I wish I wasn't an adult. I'm tired of being an adult.
Yeah, it sucks, dude.
I'm
sucks.
sick of it. Everybody wants something from you, and you got to make money.
That was the stupidest thing I ever did was grow up.
I know. I hate it.
God,
Well,
why?
So we can't choose to be an adult, right? We can't choose to be a kid. But if you could choose to live in any era, since you're a history buff, what era would you want to live in?
Somebody asked me that the other day. I think
Somebody asked me that too. That's why
Really?
it's on my mind. Yeah.
I love the 20s.
Mm-hmm.
I love the carefree attitude of
Wait,
hey,
this 20s? Oh
no. Yeah, God, no, not this.
you're like,
I'm
oh,
over
saying,
this shit.
I'm just saying.
this 20s?
We are in the 20s, Brian. Like,
The 1920s.
100 years ago.
I
Yeah.
didn't know roar would mean like the sound of God's fury, roaring 20s, because that's what we're living in right now.
What sound are you hearing? I'm hearing silence from God.
Yeah,
I hear absolutely
It's just
nothing from
absolute
him.
silence. Anyway, why the 20s?
It's just so fun. Everybody's having a good time.
Everybody has
Everybody
money.
just got over World War One.
Mm-hmm.
The partying.
Yeah.
I like to party.
Hey, man.
The music was great. The fashions were great. You know, that's kind of when
unprecedented.
Women going out and getting theirs.
women were hotter.
That's it.
Yeah.
back then.
You think so?
Oh God,
I
yeah.
don't know. I saw a lot of photos.
Prosperity.
from
Prosperity,
and
yeah.
unknown amounts.
Yeah. Until the stock market crashed.
Yeah.
and
Which is kinda-
But even the poor man was rich
Even
in the
the poor-
20s. Yeah. And everybody was partying.
Why was our
Champagne
why were we
flowed.
doing? Do you know why we were doing so well in that time?
It was just post World War One.
Yeah.
Economy was booming. We just
Yeah.
won.
We had a lot of profits from that.
We had a
war,
lot of
didn't we?
profits. We had people
because we were
working.
selling a lot of weapons. To
We
both
beat those
sides.
Turks.
That's like the 1950s. After World War II, we
Same.
were extremely
Unknown
prosperous.
prosperity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So it's like are we really the most prosperous country in the world, or is it because we hit those nice little war licks?
I mean, obviously.
yeah, probably we hit those.
I mean,
little-
as a history buff, like that's what a lot of people.
oh yeah, I
talk
think about that all the time. But when you study civilizations, Rome, Greece, China, they all, and I'm not sounding negative, but they
No.
all come to an end at some point.
Yeah,
So they don't
But do
last
they though,
forever.
really?
They don't. I mean, they don't.
the British are
Maintain.
still around.
Yeah, I mean,
Those
but they
guys
don't
all kind
maintain.
of shifted though, you know?
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody shifts over time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, as far as popularity goes in school.
As far as like dominance. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Russians. They were great when they were the Soviet Union, you know, and they, you know, had a big military, and then now they're like God, you see something that says "Made in Russia," you avoid it like the plague.
Yeah, now it's
Unless
like
it's AK.
well, they're great memes. They make great Russian memes.
And
you know?
the order
Squat-
brides,
yeah.
the mail order brides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Lada.
How much do those cost?
What, a Lada?
or a
No.
mail order bride.
Oh,
mail
mail
order,
order bride?
yeah.
Probably like 20,000. You
I
gotta
don't
pay,
know.
you gotta pay
Well,
your
it
green
costs,
card.
costs a green card.
I want
a
the green
flight.
card.
I think 30 or 40. Yeah, 30
I
or
don't
40.
know.
You gotta pay for their English teacher.
I know. I would much rather buy a Lada. Those are
Yeah,
like
I take a Lada, dude. Probably 10K
it's like
ship.
a grand, man.
I'd say 10K ship.
you think so?
Ship.
That's for like a new Lada. I don't. I want like the, I want like an 80s.
That's like a
Lada.
1987 one to get it from Russia to here, like a good condition.
Like an 80s Lada. Yeah.
10K, you could get one. Have you
I
ever
mean-
seen those? Oh,
Yeah, dude.
I mean,
Oh, they're amazing.
That'd be awesome.
They're like really awful cars, but I don't know another car that could handle if you get a flat tire putting a block of wood on it for the fourth wheel. I don't know any other car that can hold up to that.
The thing I love about it the most is that like they literally made the same car for like
For like
30
40,
years,
yeah.
30 or 40 years.
That's like the East German car.
They didn't. They only had like 3 generations, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And they all looked. They didn't change anything on the outside, but
Yeah.
they like. I think there's different dash setups. Like they use nicer, like a better material for the dash in later years. But it's just like that's the only changes. It's been the same fucking car, 30, 40, my entire life. And now I think they just now recently started changing. They're trying to sell it out of the country, but it's just
Yeah, they're improving it now.
find that
They're trying to get that.
fascinating.
They're trying to get that China market. You know.
Oh,
Russia
God,
actually
yeah.
is a fascinating country to like study.
Oh, they're interesting.
Like because they kind of they've done everything their own way, you know.
Yep,
Yeah.
and their military is designed to operate in like just the absolute most shit conditions.
Mm.
You know, like their airplanes are meant to land on a freaking dirt road.
Yeah,
Just how they
everything's
make
built
stuff.
for it. Yeah. Like, what do you think?
Yeah.
You're gonna get concrete everywhere you're going?
That's
We're
why
a
there's
big country, bud.
That's why they're so chaotic.
Yeah, it's
You
like
know?
living in West Louisiana. I mean, it's
Yeah.
Oh man,
no.
shoot. It's and it's something that we've really never learned in school is like Russian history and things like that.
no, you never talk about
it,
it.
it falls between the
Because
cracks
it's bad.
because
It's bad.
well, it's not even because it's bad. It's because it doesn't really get talked about in the European theater of history, and it doesn't get talked about in the Asian theater of history. It is like literally like the stepchild of the world.
What Russia?
Yeah,
yes.
dude, they got it rough, man. Everything
Yeah.
they go through is like depressing.
Well, it's they're Asiatic, right?
Yeah.
So like they're kind of they're Asian technically,
Yeah. I mean, they're Asian and European.
Yeah.
and it's like they've held that ground for so long.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, yeah, I guess they're like the redheaded stepchild. In a
just
way.
they're the children of the
Struggle,
world.
nonstop struggle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, they live in a like that. That is not great country. I don't think. I don't think it's the best land, right?
Very cold with gulag.
Yeah.
Go to gulag.
And they have giant tigers and bears.
Then women.
Oh, yeah.
And
women,
like
yeah.
Olga, they fished of Stalin.
Yeah, I was talking to our Israeli friends that haven't been here in a while because of all COVID and everything, but I was surprised to hear that like a large percentage of Israel is
Russian immigrants?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Like something like 50% because they were like, please come to our country. We have a country now. Please come to this country. We need people.
yeah.
And then
And Russians
want to
want
get
they want to get the
Russia.
hell out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Russians just want to leave. you know?
Yeah, that's how Australia was founded. A bunch
Yeah.
of British immigrants went over there.
I'm pretty sure they got
Convicts and
taken
stuff.
over there.
Yeah, they got. Yeah, initially, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're like British Texans. That's what I call them.
They are,
Yeah,
and I
British
think they're
Texans, yeah.
probably nicer than most British people. I'd say, right? The ones I've met.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. They're a lot less stuck up, you know, but they're a lot more inclined to fight you.
That's true.
Fighting around the world.
Yeah, you can hear when Australians drink, like you hear them drinking.
It's like a frequency they hum. It's like a hum to it. It's like
Fastest.
Fosters.
Yeah, mate. Blow the froth off a few down here at I2C Podcast. No worries.
Oh my god. Do you whenever you do reenacting? Are there any wars that are like not like typical wars that you would reenact?
Yeah, so I do the Rhodesian Bush War. Nobody knows what
Oh,
the
wow.
hell.
Okay,
Wow,
okay,
really?
okay. Hold on. We're gonna take a break, and I want to hear everything about that war because I see the memes that you share and everything like that, and I there's something to learn.
That
about
is the most untalked about conflict in the 20th century.
Okay.
And it was so pivotal because there was so much shit going on.
Okay, we're gonna get more beers.
It's more important
let's
than the
do it.
Australian Emu War?
Hell yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
No,
we'll
actually,
get some beers.
probably. Yeah, let's get some
Yeah,
alcohol.
let's get some beers and we'll do this.
Look out, man. This your boy West African Floyd with the Kickback Podcast, and you're listening to A to Z Podcast. A to Z Podcast Studios are funded in part by our patrons on Patreon. Look, man, I'm not gonna lie to you. These boys is keeping Beaumont hot. They keeping Beaumont spicy. They keeping Beaumont funky. This is one of the dopest podcasts out. And look, if you would like to become a patron, visit patreon.com/A to Z BMT. And like I said, man, this is one of the dopest podcasts out. So just pay attention, peep game, and look, it's going to be good for you, all right? 100.
I don't know what that sound was, but it was great. All right. Well, you know what? It is the middle of the episode, and you know what that means. It is time for us to do a little bit of advertising, because we got to keep the lights on here. And today we are going to shout out at Black Cadillac Tattoo Parlor. It's at 6362 Phelan Boulevard in Beaumont, Texas. And their phone number is 409-892-2022. And if you have any tattoo needs, any art that you want to put on your body, immortalized forever in your flesh, you go over there to those guys. They're absolutely 100% professional. They have a lot of different artists that we all know personally. They're all our friends. And they fully have our endorsement. They are some of the best artists I know, hands down. If you get on their Instagram, you can check it out. Every single one of their artists has an Instagram. And compare it to anybody you know. They do great world-class work. They have a very, very comfortable environment with $10,000 seats apiece you can sit on that are custom made by some upholsterer. It's really nice. There's a fireplace in there, and it's a great place to relax and get some art put on your skin.
Relax.
Most people do relax when they get their tattoos. It's really strange, But again, their phone number is 409-892-2022. You can catch them on all social media platforms. DM them, call them, whatever you do, just get in contact with them and make sure that you get your next tattoo at Black Cadillac Tattoo Parlor.
Absolutely. And if you want to advertise with us, you can contact us at feedback at azpodcast.com. Help us keep the lights on and support a little, 3 years running now, a local institution.
1/3 place, my dude, at the press club ceremonies.
Yeah, so if you want to be part of an award-winning podcast, then you can advertise with us. And, just help us keep doing what we're doing and feel good about it. So let's get back to this episode with Mr. Brian Shajari.
Right? That's a good history.
That was a damn good episode. We just talked and talked and talked.
Yeah, we're usually a little looser.
Yeah,
we're a little looser.
I like you guys. There's no structure, and it's just.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes
there is structure.
For the most part, it's just come on board and talk about whatever the hell you want.
We had this original theory when we started this, and our theory was that, first of all, people like podcasting because they like authenticity, right? When you look at if you set aside like the story and murder mystery podcasts that are almost more like a narrative, right?
Yeah.
Them and Christian podcasts are dominating.
If you set aside that,
seriously, like it's
if you set aside that, like the only other podcasts that are really, really noteworthy are the ones that are just authentic. People come on there and they just kind of shoot the breeze. And then you really get a sense of who somebody is, right? And it's not so structured and it's not so full of itself. And I think people like that, man.
I also don't like being like read to from a script.
Yeah.
That's one thing.
I just like talking.
Yeah.
This is
you
what I
showed
do
up
at bars.
and we're exactly. We're shooting the shit. And guess what? We came upon the idea of talking about the Rhodesian bush.
So where is Rhodesia? Is that
so
Rhodesia?
it's modern day Zimbabwe.
Okay.
Yeah, Southern Africa. It's just north of South Africa. It's sandwiched in between Mozambique and Zambia.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a beautiful country. Yeah. It's nice. So
they got lions.
What's that?
Yeah, so they got lions.
They got lions down there.
Yeah, they got lions, bro.
Yeah, they got big ones. I'd love to go there. But they were a British colony. In 1965, they broke off and they said, we're tired of the way Britain's running things, so we're going to do our own shit.
Fair enough.
And came up with their own country. Every country in the world embargoed them, so including the United States. And they were fighting Soviet and Chinese terrorists that were funded by the Chinese and the Soviets.
Okay.
So we were fighting communism. It was another Vietnam down there. But
yeah, wow.
the Rhodesians did it all by themselves with the South Africans. Nobody else helped them except the Mozambicans until the mid-70s. But still, they were fighting this war against what we viewed at the time as the Soviet Empire and the Communist Empire and all that, and we didn't do a thing to help them. So
it was like another containment thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they fought the war all by themselves, and they ended up just throwing the towel in 1979. And, let the communists got their way, and they took over the country, and now it's a shambles. So.
Yeah. So y'all would, you would reenact something like that?
Yeah, we actually go to Central Texas.
where it kind of looks like
where it looks South Africa-ish. And it's a unique part of history because it's not talked about. It's so rare that people talk about it. The stuff we wear is all original, and we have a hell of a time finding it.
Wow.
We have to go on eBay South Africa to find this shit.
What is this? Are these like actual
Wait, do you have
garments?
to use you have to use like a VPN?
Oh, yeah.
and like make your IP address in South Africa?
I think you might be able to figure it out. I think you can figure it out.
I should be doing that.
You should be. Yeah, you should. And then you have to like tell them, hey, look, I know you think I'm in Johannesburg, but honestly, I'm in Beaumont, Texas. I'm gonna need you to internationally ship that.
Yeah,
like,
it's expensive to ship things over here.
I bet it is, yeah.
It takes months. I'm still waiting on something from April because of COVID shut the whole South African post office down. So
yeah.
But it's an interesting era that I'm fascinated with because it has nothing to do with the politics. I just like it's unique and it's different and it's weird. And nobody talks about it.
Because it's like it's a country that doesn't exist anymore. So you're talking about a uniform that doesn't exist anymore.
You're talking about a uniform that doesn't exist
Emblems.
anymore.
It's a picture. It's a portrait of time.
Yeah.
What were like the markers? What would be like the interesting, I guess, markers or differences in what they had and the equipment they carried or anything like that, or even their tactics compared to anything else? Like
the Rhodesians had the two most effective things that was recognized by the world at that time. They had the most effective military because they were kicking ass by using helicopters. They were well advanced of us in Vietnam. They were coming in. They knew how to do combined warfare really good. They tuned it in.
Yeah.
And if you do research, the current Marine digital pattern camouflage was designed after the Rhodesian breaststroke camouflage.
Wow, really?
Because it's so effective. It's still rated as the best camouflage in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody uses it.
So. That came from Rhodesia. That came from inspired by them.
Yeah, it's called the breaststroke, and that's what the Marine Corps did a lot of study on that pattern when they came out with the new digital pattern. That's true. So
y'all go out in the woods in Central Texas, out in the brush,
and shoot each other for a few hours with blanks, and we get drunk.
Is that all reenactments are? It's just fake shooting each other and then getting drunk.
Oh yeah,
and telling
I remember that episode of South Park. The Schmorsnops.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, what do you even talk about when you're sitting around? You're making your campfire and
that seems like
you're wearing wool in Texas and
God, that sucks. That's why I stopped doing Civil War because it was so freaking hot.
So you've done Civil War?
Yeah, I did Civil War here in Texas, and it's just we had somebody said, "Hey, we're going to do a reenactment in June and spring," and I'm like, "Okay." I thought they were joking. They really did it, and I showed up.
Texas.
I showed up for 30 minutes and I left. I was like, this is not going to happen.
Hey, man, what side did you reenact for?
I do both sides.
Brian goes both ways, everybody. Civil Wars. What is
we got him. We got him.
We got him.
We got him.
What is it? What is it about it? What is it about reenacting?
I don't know, dude. It's
because a lot of people like to do it, obviously,
It's a way to get away from stuff. And people like me that love history, that are
like
fascinated
escapism.
by it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it's cool to read about it, but then it's cool to do it.
Yeah.
And actually.
Do you like come up with a character and like play a character or anything? No?
No, I'm just drunk Brian. The village idiot.
with a gun and a, what do they call that thing on the end?
Oh, the ramrod?
And a bayonet.
Bayonet, yeah.
Drunk Brian with a bayonet.
Hell yeah.
One thing I've always found like really interesting is people find out like truthisms about history through doing reenactments and through like trying to do practical things in a historical way where Hollywood has actually distorted the lines of a lot of things and made history forgotten in a lot of ways, like Archery, for instance, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like through the Golden Age depictions of Robin Hood, people have forgotten what archery even was. You know what I mean? Like even like quiver on your back and all of this stuff and even like medieval things and it's funny how we live in this like golden age right now of actual like historical accuracy on a lot of things, where like, especially when it's like, I'm not talking about Civil War, but if you go back further than that, now a lot of things are coming out where it's like, there's this guy named Lars Eriksson who has revised old archery and showing you the ways that people actually used to do it.
He's on YouTube.
I think so. Yeah, I think
I've
so.
seen
Yeah,
some of those. Yeah,
it's like what is it? It's outside archery versus like inside archery, and it's like quick shooting and all that. Yeah, yeah. And he studied like Mongolian archers and everything, and he's like, this is the way people used to shoot, and no one shoots bows like that anymore. Like bow hunters, they shoot it very differently.
Well, that's like us.
Yeah.
When we do reenactments, I usually hang out with a hardcore group of reenactors. We do everything authentic as possible. We did a period correct deer hunt where we used tools from the 1850s to actually skin a deer, which were a little bit more rudimentary than what they are now.
Did you kill the deer?
You weren't using like a case knife?
Yeah, we actually had somebody shoot it with a musket, and it killed it right there on the spot. Of course, the 75 caliber musket that big.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah, it blows it out.
Yeah. But still, it's like, and we did everything correct, and it was cool to do that. And somebody actually took the hide, and they made a jacket out of it. A couple of months later, they actually cured it, tanned it, did everything. It was.
Did they tan it in like period tanning?
Correct. Yeah.
They used the brain in the tan.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So I actually have a jacket that's got all that on it. I don't know how they do that, but somebody made a jacket and that.
Well, you take the brain from the animal, you use that. Yeah.
It's like a solvent or something.
It's a preserve.
It's a preserve. Yeah. They use that in salt, and that's what people used to. That's what tanners used to use.
Brain matter and salt.
Brain matter. That's what they used to use in tanning.
No shit.
Mm-hmm.
I got some Googling to do.
Yeah.
I have a jacket that it's made like that, and it's cool as shit.
It's a lot different than now, but yeah.
It actually kind of is. I look like the village people if I wear it around, but
yeah. One thing that's really interesting to me about because obviously, I mean, clearly I know, like I have a master's in YouTube studies, which doesn't mean shit, right? But in history, what I think is always so cool that I come across is that we typically tend to think that like we're really sophisticated now because we have computers, and that people back in the day were dumb. Yeah, and it's quite the opposite. It's almost like we're getting more stupid.
We're getting stupider.
We're getting fucking dumber.
Yeah,
as all the ages go by. When you actually look at history, if you look at like you were talking about that deer hunt, and like the sophistication it takes to do stuff like that. Even if you go back 40,000 years ago and you're looking like Otzi and these cavemen and their hand axes, like, man,
that was a way of life.
People used to be so sophisticated, and now we're just.
I just think
idiots.
I think it's just a disconnect of what we're specializing in. Because everybody specializes in certain things, and it used to be we all did the same shit,
Yeah.
And then we started specializing, and that seems to be like the change in the human species. Is if you over specialize in something, and then that something that doesn't exist anymore, then you have a bunch of people that are useless.
Yeah.
So like if we don't have people that are engineers know how to build a bridge over a river, and we just have a computer that says, punch in the numbers here and shoot it across.
Yeah. Yep.
When we don't have that computer, we're fucked. Or like the same thing with learn how to skin a deer with all the equipment you had. Most of the equipment that you had, even there's people who would have no idea how to make it.
Yeah.
Like how do you make a musket from like I think I've heard it said is like how long does it take? You start from scratch. You're a monkey. How long does it take you to make a computer?
There was a toaster study that happened. Like, what does it take to make a toaster? Yeah. There was a guy it was a 2-year project, and
like making everything yourself.
No, it was a 2-year thing. It was like he wanted to engineer a toaster, which is a seemingly simple piece of technology, right? From scratch.
Jeez.
From scratch. I mean, like. From scratch.
You make your own grates. You make your own
from Stone Age to making a toaster.
Timer.
Wow.
And it was really cool. I gotta remember what it was. It was a long TED talk. He did end up doing it, but he actually ended up cheating in a way by mining plastic. So instead of making the plastic, he actually made everything else.
Well, that makes sense because if we're in post-apocalypse scenario, you could
it
mine
was really
plastic.
interesting. He ended up making like almost everything else for this toaster, like everything that was metallurgical and stuff like that. He made all of that, but then to make the shell, he was like, you know what? We live in the Anthropocene now, which is what the common geological word we use for today's age, because we have so much trash and shit all over the world.
It's the Anthropocene.
Our modern geological age is actually called the age of man, the Anthropocene. We're
So
past
whenever the
Holocene.
layers go up in another million years, they're going to dig down and hit a
we're in this
plastic
layer.
layer.
Yep. We're in this.
God.
Yeah. So being as how that is
The candy-coated
yeah,
shell of
being as how
time.
that is in nature and that is natural now, we are in the Anthropocene. He's like, I'm gonna go ahead and cheat, and I'm just gonna like mine some plastic. And
Yeah.
he went to like a dump site
That's smart.
and like got plastic and melted it down and did all that.
That's
but
really
that
clever.
was But he made a toaster from
So
scratch.
that's the one.
Took him 2 years to make a toaster.
That's the one thing
God.
it would be hard to do though. Is like it wouldn't be hard. Like you could figure out how to make steel. Because all you need is rocks and some fire.
But apparently, you can't figure out how to make steel that's as good as we made steel 1,200 years ago.
Yeah, it was a
In
different
India.
type, man. It was.
Are you serious?
Yeah, there's so what modern steel. Have you ever heard of Damascus steel? Right,
Yeah.
like people use. That's a false term.
Yeah.
That literally just means like pattern welded.
Yeah.
And it creates the look of what woos steel used to be like. That came out of a very specific place in India. That they still don't know the techniques they used.
But they have pieces of it.
There are pieces of woos steel. There's some swords. There's very few that they have found of woos steel, and they have they have like atomic X-ray scans of it and all that stuff, and they know like what it's made of, but they still don't know how they did it. Like the sophistication of that, like it's still lost.
It was aliens, right?
It's lost. Might as well have been. Might as well have been.
And see, that's the thing about being a reenactor is like I know how to ride a horse. I know how to live in very primitive conditions if I have to. And you don't think about that sort of stuff until shit hits the fan. You're like, oh, I know how to do this. Like I can skin a deer doing the old method, not using all these nice tools we have now.
It's almost like a form of like camping or something.
Yeah, basically.
Instead of
We're
going,
gonna figure
we're
out
going to
on your
go
own.
camping at the state park this weekend.
Camping
you go
plus.
out, reenact.
Yeah.
Do you guys do any sort of what's the scope of the reenactments you guys do? Do you guys
Like time errors?
Yeah. Do you only stick to modernity or
Dude, so I'm in a group of guys that we do everything from Roman to the Rhodesian Bush War.
Oh wow.
Roman.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people are you getting out there to do this? Like,
Dude, it's insane. I haven't fallen in with them yet for Roman stuff, but like they'll show up full armor and they make their own shit.
Really?
Yeah, they'll
And they're
sit
like,
there all
form the phalanx. We're in this bitch.
I'm like,
practice phalanx formations in a field in Texas somewhere. People are like, I don't know what's going on, but there's a bunch of half-naked men with shields and spears.
and they make all their own stuff.
Yeah.
And it just
Yeah.
boggles me. I'm like, I'm gonna go to the bar. I'll see y'all later. But there's people that make I make my own clothing for 19th century. I sew my own stuff and I use
You do?
correct fabric. Yeah,
Yeah?
I do it all by hand.
Damn.
Because I want to make sure it's correct. It's
Yeah. Right.
as authentic as possible. So
Like, because the soldiers would make their own stuff. Sometimes.
yeah, that's another thing. That's another lost art.
They
is
would
sewing.
definitely mend their own things. Yeah.
Yeah. And nowadays it's like nobody knows how to do any of that. Which it's technology. It is what it is.
You have
but
a lot of outfits, don't you?
I have a lot. It's stupid.
Like, where do you keep them? Do you have a storage?
I have to
building?
have a closet devoted to nothing but that shit.
Do you arrange them by time period?
I do actually. Yeah, it's all by time era. It goes from oldest to newest.
What's the oldest and what's the newest?
The oldest I have is probably 1790s,
Okay.
and I
Okay.
have a set of chainmail for
I was
Roman.
about to say you don't get too in the medieval.
I don't think Romans
you're
had
not wearing
chainmail.
plate.
No, I don't really do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
No, that's the SCA guys. And
Yeah.
I like guns and just shoot people and
Yeah.
with blanks
With blanks, yeah.
at a reenactment, not for real.
How come reenactors don't use like paintball?
They do,
and like keep score.
some units do that.
Do they really?
Like some
Okay.
people, there's
Yeah.
some groups out there that will do that. So
They want it to be as real as possible.
yeah,
It's already predetermined, right? It's a historical battle you guys are reenacting. So
yeah. Generally, it is pretty
Yeah.
cool though. Listening to like a German machine gun doing a World War II event, just going at it.
Oh, really? They'll bring out the actual gun and
Yeah,
put blanks in it?
people have
that sounds
original-
extremely expensive.
It is stupid expensive. I know friends that for like
They'll
Vietnam
have like
era,
a Dylan
yeah, they'll.
of like 1890s.
Yeah, and they have to go through ATF to get these things. And like, I have a friend that has 3 M60 machine guns. I'm like, what are you gonna do? What? Like, I'd be happy with just 1, but 3, good for you. I mean, it is what it is.
That's Vietnam, I guess.
Yeah,
They're
same
like,
set friend has a tank.
Yeah.
Literally
A tank?
Yeah, an armored
You
personnel
gotta have
carrier.
a tank. Come on.
Yeah, what are you even
That's
doing
the
with
kind
your
of,
life
that's
if
the
you don't
kind
have
of
a tank?
reenacting I want to see.
Yeah.
Do y'all ever get like called in Like if you're in groups that are reenactors and they do this for fun, like y'all have to get called in for movies sometimes, right?
Oh yeah, I've been on commercials for Texas State Tourism Board. I've been an extra in some cheesy independent movies.
It's like we're looking for like 50 guys that can look the part. For
and they're trying to save money
shots.
too. They're trying to save money. They're like, hey,
it's like Star Wars.
would you like to be on here? Bring your own costume. Bring your own
they
equipment.
call it the 51st Legion or something like that. It's the guys that reenact.
The Star Wars guys.
They do like fundraisers and stuff. Like
they make their own armor.
Dude, that would be what I would want. I want a full, authentic stormtrooper outfit.
Well, you have to make it to it, man.
Yeah, I want to.
Yeah, they mold their own. There's plans for it.
I think they're kind of strict. Like you have to have it correct.
They are, and there's only like so much customization you can put. You can do,
God, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
I would go to the mall. I think you got to wear a mask.
I think it's mainly vets. I really do. I think that organization is mainly vets.
Really?
Yeah, I'd have to ask Lance. Lance is the one who told me everything about.
I forget what it's
that
called. It was
organization.
the something Legion.
It's like the 53rd.
501st. I think.
Yeah, 501st. I think that's it.
Yeah, those guys are awesome.
I mean, it seems like
they're like molding their own plastic shells.
Hell yeah. Dude, that'd be the ultimate Halloween outfit. Which for me, Halloween's simple. I just walk into my closet like, what the hell am I gonna do?
Dude, like you're set. Like you're totally set. Like
every day's Halloween, man.
Somebody was asking me what you can be for Halloween. I'm like, I don't know. I'll decide the hour before I go out.
I think I might have hit you up. I might have hit up Sarah Bellion because she does. She's with the Walkers and all that.
She does SEA, yeah.
And because I was looking for, like, I wanted to do a promo for like the movie series we were doing at the time, and I wanted to do a promo where I wore like a full set of like plate armor or something.
Oh, I don't know if that's going to be around here, but yeah.
Well, I mean, something like that. You know, something that's like looks full on and then go and have lunch at the courthouse. And,
dude, that's why I just want to show up in a stormtrooper outfit.
Yeah. Somewhere. And just get like everybody's reactions and stuff. That'd be so much fun.
Do you know how rare a full suit of plate armor is?
Rare?
It's very, very,
like
very,
a real,
very, very, very
like
rare.
real?
It's very rare because it was a very rare moment in history they were even used.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the moment in history that is between the
Guns?
Dark Ages and the Age of Enlightenment. It's literally only like 100 years that people even started using. It basically went
started
from,
or used them at all.
Used them at all. Like it was.
So like the thing with the flip down helmet and you're charging like that was like 100 years.
It was like 100 years. It was like the 14th.
That was King Arthur age, right?
Yeah, no, King Arthur age was actually like 900.
Why is it because it's so impressive visually?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Because it looks badass.
Yeah. Well, because it's a narrative story thing, right? The hero
knight
is the shining star of the story.
Knights were actually dicks.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dicks right there,
They're like, professional football players.
Yeah, knights and samurai. I would like to put them.
They were horrible people.
Like samurai and knights, which were basically the same thing, just Eastern and Western. They were terrible.
They were terrible.
They'd
people.
show up and be like, "Hey, man, like you owe us food. Oh, you don't want to give it to us? All right, well,
we're gonna have to kill.
We're gonna have to kill you
and rape your wife.
Sanction me."
Yeah, they were awful people, dude.
Yeah, and they demanded payments, taxes, and they treated people like crap.
Yeah.
So.
They were bullies,
but they look cool.
Then came the guillotines.
Cool.
Yeah, the guillotines. Those were awesome.
I mean, speaking of history, like I like how like we had that big backlash against France during like the Iraq War and all that stuff because they weren't helping as much.
Oh, freedom fries? You talking about freedom fries?
Freedom fries.
I kind of like it because of like all the like badass shit they've done over the years. You know, they don't get enough credit.
Yeah. People be sleeping on France.
Yeah.
France has like
they are all about overthrowing the government.
No, I actually think France has
like they riot often, and I think it's great.
I think France has like the second or third highest success rate in war in history.
Something like that.
France is incredibly successful.
My French history sucks, but they were. I mean, hell, they were effective in the Napoleonic Wars.
Yeah, they have an incredibly high success rate when it comes to war.
Yeah. They just had a bad run.
They're third or second, yeah.
They just had a bad run in the 20th century.
And hell, we wouldn't have been able to beat the British without their help.
That's true. In Yorktown, yeah.
They're funneling us weapons and stuff.
Yeah, they just had a bad run in the 20th century.
And bread.
They really did.
Good bread.
Yeah, great bread. The baguette, man. Like, come on. I mean,
New Orleans.
Make me a sandwich, but longer.
What else comes from France?
Every democracy,
French
crepes.
women.
Yeah. What's that?
French women.
Yee. You want Texas citizenship?
Well, there's actually there are a lot of what is it, Alsatian?
Yeah, Alsace-Lorraine. Yeah.
Out in West Central Texas.
Yeah, a lot of them immigrated over
A
here.
lot of immigration from France and Central Texas.
I was
Really?
just
I
out
didn't know
there.
that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Creole
Beautiful.
folk.
Really?
Yeah.
I always thought like Central Texas was nothing but Germans and Mexicans.
Germans, Polish, and French. Alsatian. I don't think Alsatian is like that's like a.
It's in between France and Germany. It's
yeah,
a weird.
It's not
Oh,
quite
okay, yeah.
French.
It's like
but
Beaumont.
Yeah,
It's not Texas,
yeah.
but it's not Louisiana.
Right.
Yeah.
It's that border. Like, man, this is a weird place we live in, dude.
Yeah.
I know.
With
It's
really
insane.
great history.
Yeah, it is.
Really
There's a
great
lot
history,
of stuff
yeah.
that goes on here that nobody knows about.
Yeah.
Well, it's like we were like a state or we were a country for a little while, but like for the longest time it was just this piece of land.
Yeah.
And everybody set
Yeah.
up their communities, and we left everybody the fuck alone. We just did our own thing.
And then right here was like the border to civilization and like the
Sure.
other, you know.
Yeah, and that it was a freshly encroached border,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
I mean, relatively to United States, especially at that time with Texians and everything. But it was like everybody kind of just did their own thing.
Yeah.
And then like we had our community here, and then out in West Texas you had the little French community, and then or the Alsatian community, and then you had the Polish communities, and they do their dance halls, and then country folk
Yeah.
started filtering because that's
And-
where country
and
music
a
came
lot of-
from, is the Polish,
The Polish-
German
yeah,
dance
that's
halls.
true.
Yep.
Yep.
You know, so beer and country music came up together in Texas.
But that was all over there.
From
That
the
wasn't even here.
Europeans,
You
from
know.
the Europeans. Yeah.
Here, there was weird shit going on here.
Yeah.
This was like
There
where all
still
the
is.
ne'er-do-wellers like came and all the.
I'm tired of taxes. No, we didn't.
This is where like all the
Taxes.
criminals came from the entire country and just like came right here.
Roughnecks.
I'm gonna start a refinery.
And they were like, I'm gonna be in between these
We're
borders.
gonna do the refination of oils and petroleum.
I'm gonna be in between these borders. You heard?
I think I can put that stuff in your sandwich. I really do. And they did.
They're like,
It's
I owe
called
those guys
margarine.
debts, and they're like, oh, I owe these guys debts. All right, let's just meet over here in Southeast Texas.
I'll take 2 slices of bread with a cow in it, please. Deep fried.
Deep fried.
The
American.
barbecue had to have come from here, right?
That's a good question.
Actually, Southeast Texas Beaumont barbecue came
know.
from Louisiana,
Yeah. Well,
History
but
of
then it was
barbecue.
defined. And then it was defined here and spread through East.
defined.
Texas.
We defined it.
Refined it. Bona fide.
refined it. Yeah,
Bona fide.
He's bona fide. He's a suitor.
That's right. I love that movie.
He's a suitor. Goddamn
How
tax
accurate
man.
is that movie, Brian? I bet it's really accurate because of the Coen brothers.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
I will do anything if Oh Brother Where Art Thou is on. I will stop what I'm doing and I will watch that movie if
good
it's on TV.
Is it
Yeah.
true? Tell me, is it true in 1933 was everything amber colored?
Like
Like Mexico is now in a Richard Dawkins movie.
it seems like it. Everything you watch is amber colored.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah. Especially in No Brother Art, though. Everything's amber colored.
that's right. I never noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's all-
because you're looking, you're it's a look back on the golden age of,
Yeah.
Whatever.
I like that.
and plus most things they do have a color tone like that.
Yeah, especially if it's in Mexico.
Yeah, Mexico it's always yellow.
That's
Mexico's
right.
just-
Yeah, you're right on that.
It's
too.
amber. Yeah.
Everything's
yeah.
amber colored.
Well,
Yeah.
well, during all these wildfires in California, everybody's taking pictures saying they were in Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you? This is a very interesting thing. What do you think the history books are going to say about our contemporary time?
Especially about this year.
Just
Think it'll
just
be a
about this
blip,
year
or
and
do you
like
think it'll
what
actually stick
like
out
what
in the
led
history
up
books?
to it.
I'll be
you know?
honest.
Yeah.
We have devolved in intelligence, common sense,
yeah.
and just goodwill towards each other. I think 100 years from now, they're going to point us out and say, look how mean they were, what they
Yeah.
did to each
Yeah.
other.
I think so.
The
Some of
troubles,
it's
man.
justified. Yeah, trouble. Some of it, we got a lot of racial tension that, yes, we do need to address and get over. Yes, I acknowledge that. But just the way things are going right now, like, God, we're going to look back on
We're
ourselves
so
and
mean
say,
at each other.
yeah,
We really are.
like you can't
Yeah.
even have a political conversation with anybody anymore. I mean, I stay out of politics, but still, it's like I have friends on both sides and they hate each other.
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
know.
just like, I don't have
Yeah.
time for that shit.
I know. I
dude.
can't stand it.
No, that's why I don't talk about it. I love everybody. I want to have fun with everybody.
So you think that's what's going to define us as our
Yeah.
incivility?
We're mean.
Incivility, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The meanest,
100%.
the meanest decades.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
I would too. I would too. I don't understand why it even is. I've had conversations with people on both sides as well, and it's like people have forgotten that you need other people to survive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's everybody's like all grouped up and they're in their camp, and it's like
It's not good to
It's like
all
really-
think the same way.
like, imagine-
that's how you drive
yeah.
over the cliff.
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, imagine a world where it's like all people that are overly compassionate, you know what I mean? It would suck. And then you could imagine a world where it was like people that are just overly logical, and it would suck too. You know what I mean? Like everybody needs each other, and everybody's forgotten.
We found that during COVID, and I was thinking during COVID when the lockdowns were mandated, we couldn't do shit. We couldn't go anywhere. You know, people were turning each other in and stuff, and it was like, I think we're going to get to that. I was seeing a trend in us getting back to being nice to each other, but then all of a sudden it just went away.
Yeah.
No. Oh, you wear a mask?
Yeah.
Oh, you're not wearing a mask?
Yeah. Yeah. It's the mask shaming. It's like we were getting there, and then it went away.
Yeah.
And then a little bit during the hurricane. Every hurricane, we get a little touch of it.
Yeah, we get a little community.
I'm waiting for the aliens, man. I believe that. I believe we need an outside force that we all need to fight together.
I don't know, man. If I was an alien and I had a UFO, I would lock my doors and roll the windows up when I go by Earth. I'd say, to hell with that shit.
You'd be like, you're driving past the hood, you'd be like,
yeah. Y'all are crazy.
Not
I would
stopping
not.
there. Y'all ain't giving me that disease. Shit.
It's the COVID's driving them mad.
Batsuit virus.
Yeah. Well, I would say we'll wrap that ramble off.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, Mister.
Yeah, man, I enjoyed this.
Yeah,
This was
we
awesome.
appreciate it, dude.
Yeah, this
We
is
might have
great.
to do like another one sometime soon.
Yeah.
Just rant on
Another one.
history.
2020 rant. We should do
2020.
an after New Year's.
There you go.
A
And
recap.
A recap.
Yeah,
and
because
we'll see.
Let's do a 2020 recap.
We can like respond to our saying, well, October surprise is coming, and then
Yeah,
we
let's
got
just do a little
elections, 'cause
2020 recap.
we might be in
should.
our bunker somewhere, you know. And you're like, well, are you stocked on ammunition, Brian? Nice to see you. We're broadcasting out of the A to Z bunker studio here on top of the beautiful San Jacinto Insurance Building, where we have barricaded ourselves up
I thought you were going to say San Jacinto
on
Monument.
the 40th floor.
Just got to go by Miller's Discount Liquor first.
Yeah.
Or at least somewhere.
Yeah. Rack it up. Well, thanks for coming, man.
Hey, guys, thank
This
you.
is a
Appreciate
fun
it.
one.
This was awesome, bro.
And we'll see y'all on the flip side.
All right.
I'm glad you didn't point at the camera again. All right, another episode in the can, another one for the books. We just keep getting better and better, as you guys can tell, because we won third place. The camera quality, always improving. You know what I mean? Look at us on here. We look so good. Anyway, thank you, Brian. Thanks for coming out and chatting to us. We hope to run into you again. And as always, we have our patrons.
Yeah, special shout out to our patrons. That's Jordan Stringer, Brian Castino, Doug Waldrop, Michael Sarr, Ben McCullen, Randy Edwards, Allie Gillette, Allison Pierce,
So beautiful.
Lauren Bibu, Wes Harden, Jacqueline Stockdale, Damon Rambin, Hannah McMahon, Nicole Tony, Henry Brown, Will
Bless
Young,
up.
and our newest patron, Miss Julia Rodriguez.
Bless up. Thank you guys so much. And if you're interested in becoming a Patreon, head on over to patreon.com/A2ZBMT, where you can pledge a one-time or reoccurring pledge that really helps us out. Honestly, we could not do this show without the people that Zach just mentioned.
Pays
and
Bill.
you have our ever extending gratitude, and we'll love you forever.
Yeah, next episode we have A to Z 123. Woo! Mr. Will Young's gonna make his third appearance on the show.
It's the trilogy, baby.
The Deep Sky dude. We talk Star stuff. We do watch-alongs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's if you've seen any Will Young episode that we've done, it's gonna be a lot
This is
of
our
the same.
first triple appearance, and I'm excited for it. You know what I mean? It's great. I love Will. It's always a good time. We always just
One of our first people to come on, and he's been a mainstay every year
That's
we've
it.
done this.
That's it. So make sure you come back next time for episode 123. Yeah, come back next time.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. That's nice. I like that.
1, 2, 3. A to
that
Z
feels-
1, 2, 3.
That feels good. A2Z 1, 2, 3.
A to Z 1, 2,
That's like a
3.
password or something. You know, it's probably one of.
Shush, shush,
Oh,
shush,
shit.
shush, 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 shush.
Cut it.